Hello, hello. How are you, everyone? Thank you for waiting. Welcome to the Tales from Shores podcast. I have here with me, I'm Tel, first of all. I have with me V, Valerie, and Pronis.
Hello.
Hey.
Uh, these are other creators from the Brighter Shores community, and please introduce yourselves, starting with V.
Hi, I'm V. Been playing Brighter Shore since day of launch, like 3 minutes after the game came out, and I've been just having an absolute blast with the game, building a bit of a clan, and eventually getting coerced into making a YouTube channel, and that's then I ended up here, kidnapped by the Frogman.
Yes, absolutely. And I think a lot of us jumped in right at that 3 minute mark, which was really exciting and a lot of fun. If you were in like a voice call or something like that at the time and everyone was like running around headlessly, it was great. And Pronus.
Yeah, hello. I'm Pronus. I don't know if I was quite at the 3 minute mark, but I was definitely started playing day one. I think that's actually when I started streaming as well. I do stream over on Twitch, but it was interesting because when I first started playing, I thought I felt like the game was kind of meh,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't touch it again for like 3 days. But during that time, I found myself continually thinking about the game, and then I got back to it and just haven't left since.
Yeah, that's you caught the bug there, the little Gara
Yeah.
bug. It's definitely one of those games we'll end up coming back to, and I think that happened a lot for a lot of us, is that we didn't super get captured until we got maybe a little bit past, I want to say episode 2-3. Once I got into episode 3, that's when it really clicked, and we could start seeing how everything kind of integrates and plays and what the vision was for the game. That's when it kicked in for me, around episode 3. V, I think, just caught level 500 fishing, so I think she was just instantly.
I got stuck in Hopeport. It's just how it happened. I don't even know what happened. All right, I started playing and then made it to Hope Forest, and then once I like got to the point where I could get into the mines, I was just like, what if I just don't? What if I just stick around in Hopeport and just mindlessly click pixel fish? And that's kind of what happened. And then suddenly I was level 500.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know if I'll ever get a 500. To be honest, I don't even think I've gotten my first 200 yet. I've been pretty busy. But Bernus, what are you in terms of your grind?
Like, what am I doing kind of thing?
Yeah, what are you up to at the moment?
Well, I mean, this second I'm just doing leatherworking because podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But in the grander scheme of things, I've been focusing on trying to prep for Stonemason Hill as much as possible and
Okay.
finding different ways of doing that.
So that'll be banking leather, making money, and what else? Any
Yeah.
other?
You can do the bone right passives for cement.
Yeah.
And I'm currently working my way through 5,007% Stonemason Hill potions.
5,000.
Yes.
Okay, so you got a lifetime supply, and are you gonna go for the 10% too? Like that's all the way at 490 though. Right?
I don't know if I'll be able to hit that. It would be cool if I did, but I think I should be pretty well set with the 7%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then,
oh
sorry.
yeah,
And
right.
then one other minor thing beyond that is you can actually get the tiles and the bricks from the venture. There is a way to get them in game currently.
Oh, is that through the
And
chests, right?
yeah, searching the chests in Chronopolis. So I do that whenever I run by them.
Those chests that I walk past every single time I do a den, I just like completely
Same
ignore.
here.
Yeah.
Yep. Never touched them. I mean, I only made it to Kryn like 3 days ago, so what the hell do I know?
It's like 2 silver. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever, buddy.
Yeah, no thanks.
V, you've slowed down your grind, right? You started working on a YouTube channel.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it was necessarily slowed down, but yeah, it has had a little bit of an impact on it. I'm currently in game working on completing all quests, and all I have left is the Battle of Fortune Hall, which I should be able to do, but haven't been able to do because I was constantly editing videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, started a channel.
It's
I think it's 11 days ago now.
it's work. The playing while editing, it's like it's work. I'd love to
Yeah,
just
like
go live and then stream for 12 hours and play, but that's not. I don't know how people do
no,
that.
sadly, it does not work that way. I think people really like don't really know just how much work goes into it because I can be like for my Fisher guide, right, which was
Yeah,
26 minutes of content, I think.
yeah.
I think it took me like 4 hours to write the script, and then it
Mm-hmm.
took me like another 4 hours just to record the voiceover.
Yeah,
And then the editing work alone was like 20 plus hours, which is
yeah.
just
As a rule of thumb, and like as an inexperienced, probably like an experienced creator, sorry, it's like an hour of work per minute of video.
yeah, that's
So
about accurate.
now can you imagine being inexperienced and kind of just winging it and doing what I'm doing with no experience at all? It's sometimes my edits take like two I'll get stuck on one joke that no one's gonna see anyway, and I'll sit there and I'll edit it for 2 hours for a 5-second gag, and like 7 people see it, but it makes those 7 people really really happy, so that's why I do it.
Super worth it though, because like you're hitting the nail right on the head there. Because
Yeah.
I had a video go live about like 2 hours ago, and in it
Mhm.
I have this whole segment where I made it look like it was 1920s, and I put an
Mhm.
entire filter on it, and it took me like I don't know, like 45 minutes to figure out how to do that at all.
Mhm.
And I think I honestly appreciate that more than anyone who's going to see the video will. So,
Uh-huh.
but
And
it was a lot of fun making it.
and Pernus, you stream on Twitch, right? You're one of the people who streams
Yeah.
12 hours a day, or
Not
less
quite.
than
It's
that.
usually somewhere between 8 to 12, depending on
Mhm.
the day. But also, you guys aren't very encouraging, but I'm trying to get into YouTube content as well.
No, we love it. It's worth it. I promise. We need more
Just do
Bright
it.
Shores
Take
YouTubers.
the
Yeah.
plunge.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm thinking of doing lore deep dives
we
because
haven't
there
had a
is
single
a
one.
lot.
Yeah, we haven't
There's
had a
there's so much.
like. I've got my finger on the like the whole YouTube game. I think for Bright Shores, I do watch every video that comes out from everyone. I haven't really come across any lore videos like Vati video style kind of deep dives on the lore, really looking at all of the NPC dialogue and stuff like that, and different just ways to explore the game. I'm sure there's a lot we could find out about Stonemason Hill and stuff like that in the actual game that we're overlooking.
Yeah, like I have some, like I think I've got the rough plot of Stonemason Hill figured out,
Mm-hmm.
based solely on in-game clues.
Yeah, and later on in this episode we have a couple of guests which kind of tie into this. We have another YouTuber, Cabbage Man, coming on later, as well as someone who's doing the game one room at a time and mapping it out while they do it. So that's going to be really interesting to see. Maybe we can come across more discoveries and taking it at a slower pace than some of these people who grind at 500 out the gate.
I'm sorry, okay? I mean, it was a nightmare in the end because my original goal was to get a single digit slot on the leaderboards for a episode 1 profession. That was the plan, right?
What did
And
you end up at?
then rank 6. So
Okay.
I got my goal, but I would have ended up on a higher position on the board, like 2 or 3 maybe. But around the start of December, when I was, I think, level 240-ish, my father-in-law had a heart attack, and that kind of took like the front seat in my life at that point. So I went from playing like 14 hours a day, just grinding Fisher nonstop, to like playing half an hour a day for like a week and a half or something like that. And obviously no regrets there, but that was a massive slowdown on the Fisher grind. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. How do you feel about the queuing system now being added after you get 500?
Well, I mean, I'm personally, I'm like right in the middle of it because I got level 400 like
Oh, okay.
8 hours before the update went live, and those 8 hours were spent asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 400, update comes out, and then the last 100 levels were kind of definitely a lot easier. Um, but I wouldn't say it has made Fisher that much easier. It's just
Yeah.
instead of having to constantly click, you now get to click every 12 seconds, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's
I like
still
tie it
bad
in.
if you're going to
I
go
like
for
to tie
that.
it in with Forager now.
I mean, honestly, that is the way to do it. Like, that is 100% the way to do it. Except for, if you're trying to, like, race the high scores, you just want to focus on clicking as many fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on the couch watching Grey's Anatomy with my girlfriend, just constantly clicking fish. It was honestly actually kind of fun. Yeah, I enjoyed fishing.
That's a good way to play the game chill. Which it sounds like Prentice, you take the game pretty chill too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of go through phases, I guess, where I try to be more micro efficient,
Mm-hmm.
but then I'm lazy, so I just kind of
That's
chill
how I
and
play
we'll
too. Like I'll make a
get
guide
there
on how to do
eventually.
it super efficiently, and then I'll not play efficiently at all. I'll play super hardcore for like 8 hours. I'll do like 8 hours of merchant, and then I'll forget to add my offline timer and log out for 48 hours. so, so that's just like up, down, up, down, up, down.
It's so
Yeah.
relatable. You'll be locked in, and then suddenly, you have to edit a video, and you're not playing at all. So,
Mm-hmm. Oh.
yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah,
It's
I don't think I'm gonna go for another leaderboard slot, honestly.
yeah, I'm probably gonna stop at 200s. I don't know if I could do 500. Maybe if I find a skill that I really really like, but we'll see. Like if they end up, it'll probably end up being a combat skill if rating comes out and it's super fun, something like that. So, but yeah.
Going for 500 builder. That's my goal.
Oh, you're gonna race it, or just
I don't know
500?
about. I prefer the term rush.
Rush. Yeah,
Like I'm gonna focus it, but
you'll
I'm
do it
not
as fast as you can
necessarily
reasonably can, and not really worry about the leaderboard, and just end up where you end up.
exactly.
Yeah.
Top page would be sick, but I do also work full time, so
Yeah.
Real life will always come first.
yeah.
I feel like that's an important rule a lot of people seem to forget. I've seen quite a little bit of toxicity in the community about like, oh, I play more hours than you, and I play more hours than you. Um, I think it's important to like remember people have lives that they're actually partaking in, and that will always take priority. So working full time is definitely a good thing.
And then we've had like people on the podcast people who are on the podcast say, "Oh yeah, I'm 500, rank 1, and I've got a full-time job as well."
We work from home. Well, not rank 1, but you get the idea. We work from home.
Yeah. I don't work from home, unfortunately. I'd love to. But also I'm a huge advocate for sleep and like how important it is just for physical health.
Yeah.
Like if you want to forego sleep, like that's fine. That's totally your choice, but you gotta know the risks, right?
100%. Like, I was making sure I was getting at least like 8-9 hours every single night when I was grinding Fisher, and currently I'm getting like 9 hours, 10 hours a night, like easily because I'm grinding less intensively.
Mm-hmm.
But sleep is definitely very, very important.
And
It
I like
keeps you
to,
sharp as well.
yeah, I like to chat about how they did it too. When we would get like a rank 1er on the leaderboard on the podcast, which we do have another one today. We have Stonemason. And so I'm interested to hear that story because that is the last rank 1 to happen. So it'll be good to hear about that. In regards to content updates, we had a little bit of a quiet week from Fen, but nothing too negative. So we have here the first patch of the last 2 weeks. Really, really good one. NPCs will no longer stand on top of Forager and gather spots.
Game changer, hands down.
This, let me say that ant, those ants in Forager are were so annoying. This is so nice.
I'm telling you, I still believe those ants were literally programmed to walk on as many forager nodes as possible.
Yeah,
and they just reverse that now.
That like it's absurd. There's like, I can't believe how often they would do it as well. It's like their path was specifically to piss you off, and you couldn't even have anyone like fight them or anything because they're passive, so no one's doing it.
But they would literally go from like one node just straight to the other one.
Mm-hmm. And
just be like, why can't you just stop somewhere in
and
between?
you sit there, you're moving your mouse like you're trying to get under it, like you get your legs out the way so I can click under you, you goddamn bastard. There's the thing where it's like if you right click twice, apparently it lets you navigate all the multiple things like from top to bottom, but I never find that super works. So if we can get a traditional right click menu would be good, or if they just don't walk on them anymore. It sounds like the wolves in femur shards and stuff like that for like a lot of the gatherer bones, that's been a problem as well.
It was the wolves and the bears in the forest, like they were just an absolute nightmare. Okay. Yeah, it was bad. Not as bad as the ants, but it was bad.
Another easy shores update for us. The logout button on the passive activity interface is actually disabled now until it's actually started. I didn't know you could log out. I still don't use it. I still press tilde and then type quit because I'm crazy like that, I guess. I just find it the fastest way to exit the game is command prompt and then quit. However, this doesn't fix the problem where the logout button is the same where it used to be. If you were been around since the first 3 minutes or whatever, you still click log out when you're not supposed, when you don't mean to.
Yeah, literally. I was about to go sound like a boomer and be like, oh no, I still hit like the log out button in the actual menu, but then you just immediately hit us with the, oh no, I go to tilde and I type quit. Okay then.
I've literally never misclicked the UI with the like when it changed with the passive thing.
You're just
close a couple times. I've come close a couple times, but literally
I bet you've never
accidentally
KP'd silver too.
No, I did intentionally the first like couple days of the game because no one knew what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I KP'd silver once, and then like once during my Fisher grind on accident. I still mourn that KP. Okay, it's bad.
I'm one of the crazy people who like unlock the knowledge point for every single profession, even when I don't do the passive for them. But it still feels really bad when I click a silver.
I also unlock every single passive as I get it every time.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's weird is like sometimes like exactly what you mentioned. Sometimes you unlock passives you're not even going to use, and I think it's really interesting game design that you have to like unlock each passive sequentially. Otherwise, you just can't get them.
Skip it, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you end up like getting a passive where you're like, okay, fine, take my KP, even though you don't really want it, and just I don't know, it doesn't feel very gratifying.
And yeah, I like filling them all out, and the animations on the passives are really cool too. So it's fun to just like kind of explore them. But yeah, unlocking them sequentially is really cool, and the whole knowledge system is really great. But anyway, this update here as well, where with the players will actually consistently auto retaliate. If you were doing the thing where what was happening here is if you were doing the thing where you're using a slow weapon and you're using movement to manipulate the enemy, if you click twice in a row, you'll actually stop auto retaliating, and then you'll sit there and get hit like 3 times in a row, completely undoing all of the work you were just doing. So I think that's mostly been fixed. One thing I want to say as well, there's this fix various typos. We'll come back to that. So patch notes for the 23rd, the next day, we just had this change. I'm not too much of a crafter. I want to ask the Stonemason we have on Strafe about this, but auto withdrawal from a timber bank in a weapon crafting room will only consider the weapons you can craft in that room, giving a better result. Because apparently the poles and stuff would auto withdraw different amount, like just the same amount, and it'd be wrong or something. I'm not too sure how this changed or how much of an improvement this is.
I think it's just like if you're crafting like say weapons for like blacksmith, I think it requires different amounts of like wood compared to like stonemason items would, and then I think it's just like adjusting off of that.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure.
Messed around with it a little bit, like before they fixed it, not since. But it's like, yeah, I think when you were withdrawing pulls, it was always like 6 or something. But sometimes you only need like 4 for an inventory or something like that.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Red Bean's probably a good person to ask. He's one of the people that's rushing just all mines. Like I remember seeing one of his streams where he's just pushing to make a 200 weapon, a 200 epic using all 3 crafters from scratch. That was weeks ago, so I don't know what he's at now, but that would be good to ask him and see how much it's improved. But obviously someone did ask about it, so they got it changed. There's some pretty small bug fixes, and then there's fix various typos again. Now, this is the reason I'm bringing this up is because this person in my community is an absolute crazy person. He's been searching for, this is Jeremy, he's been searching for the mysterious device, even though everyone's telling him not to do it anymore. And he submitted 25 minor text fixes and then another 30, and they were fixed the following day. So I've done it too. I don't know if you've ever done like a bug report into the bugs@fanresearch.com email, but it usually gets fixed pretty much instantly.
I'm not sure if the one I've submitted has been fixed. I did get a reply to my email.
You did or did?
But I ran into this issue around 397 Fisher. I have the screenshots on my phone. I can show them sometime. But basically what happened is I logged in right before the passive I was using was actually going to roll me over to the next level. And then I ended up being like 2 or 3 XP off. And the XP orb was actually showing me as level 398. But I was actually still 397, and the leaderboards updated prematurely to 398 as well. So I think it was just some kind of like float point accuracy issue in the arithmetic that like the formula is using. But submitted that, they said, "Oh, you're probably right on like what caused it. We'll look into it and we'll fix it." And I haven't seen anything in patch notes. So I have no idea if they actually fixed that.
Yeah, that might have been shadow fixed. They don't always mention it. There's been one other experience point I've notified for passives as well. I did it a while ago. What happened was if you used a boost potion to boost yourself to like the next passive, but you could still do the previous one, it would actually give you the nerfed 50% experience or something. It was pretty bad. It was like you used a boost potion, you'd go offline overnight, and then you'd get worse experience than if you just did a different passive. They fixed that one. But
that also wasn't mentioned in the patch notes, was it?
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah.
It was just fixed. But I've not had so many bugs other than just like weird experience and floating point stuff, like you said.
I think there was one typo I found and submitted.
Yeah, well, you didn't get much more than that because Jeremy found them all. Sorry. He submitted like 60 of them. After this, we did get a tweet. After those updates, we got about a week of silence, week and a half of silence, and then we got a progress update. Now, this tweet's really interesting because half the team is working on improving the combat, and the other half is working on 2 new side quests. These are bigger updates that take a bit longer than quality of life improvement, but they're looking good. A lot of us have been talking about this for a while, is like, look, the quality of life updates are going to slow down, and then the content updates are going to pick up. But when they do that, we can't expect to get updates literally every day like we were before. That makes sense. What's new, to me anyway, is the mention of 2 new side quests, because we know of Samuel's quest that he wrote and Paul picked up, but I wasn't aware of another one they were working on.
Well, they didn't mention, like, I forgot when this was, but I think this was like early December that they mentioned they wanted to do more like high level quests.
Yeah.
So it could be they just had one of those in the pipeline already. I'm honestly, personally, really curious on like what the level requirements for these quests are going to be, because when they say higher, do they mean like, level 60, level 70 maybe? Or are they talking like level 340, which, I think would be really cool, but it would also gate the content off really hard. So curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, well, part of the end of early access is to add more high-level quests. So that would make sense. Saying,
Yeah, it's on the news page at the start
Yeah.
when you log in. Now, yeah, I remember a while ago this is like over a month ago now, when Samuel was first talking about his quest. He was talking about having it be lower, like they want to fill in the gaps on the stars, right? Because the quests go 1 star, 2 star, and then 5 star. So they wanted to fill those gaps in, which I think is better than adding higher level quests, because that kind of adds more goals for newer players to work towards, rather than these really big like grandmaster things that you can't even fathom reaching. But you're right, they did want to add higher level quests too. So I don't know if that maybe has changed from that stream or how we're going to go about it. I definitely don't think they're going to exceed level 200 at almost like years from now, to be honest.
Probably not, but we can dream, we can hope. I think it would be fun if they did it, personally.
Yeah. Maybe some really, really epic quest.
Well, the thing is also, like, currently they have 5-star quests, and the 5-star quests require like at most like level 61.
Yeah.
Which is, it's kind of like, sure, I get that it's like not a small grind, but compared to like how much grind is ahead from level 61 compared to like how much you've done, I wouldn't say it's 5 stars. Like, personally, I'd say it's probably more like 3, maybe.
They were, the 5 stars were 3 stars at launch.
Yeah, right?
They were, and then people complained because it took so long to reach them, which I think that having the room to grow to these level 200 quests or higher is good. I think we need to wait a little bit before we add them, especially if we get a bunch of new people coming in on 1.0 release and episode 5 release. I think it would be nice to have, like, you walk, like, even like a 0-star quest, right? Like the more of those, the, what do you call it? The obelisk is one of them. I think when you give the player like, hey, go get level 50 before you can move to the next zone, you want to give them your chef's assistant quest and stuff like that too, so, even if they're short.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like something that the game just inherently needs to communicate better, actually, is like the different segments on the XP curve, right? Because we're seeing it go like level 0 to 20 is like super fast, like 5 minutes per level. The first few levels are like less than a minute per level. And then suddenly it quadruples, and you don't get told this until you basically experience it. And I feel like that led to a lot of the complaining that got the 3-star quest turned into 5 stars, because nobody knew what to expect. And we were all happily grinding in our little sandbox, and suddenly we hit a brick wall at like Mach 5. And
the day 1 level 20 wall hit for any new player is interesting, because it was really good. It was really interesting when we were all hit at the same time. It was quite terrifying. We didn't know if it was going to get to 20 and then get worse. Like, we thought, I remember initially like, oh my god, it's so slow at 20. Can you imagine like 100? But it's 3 stages, like you said. You have your 0 to 20, and then 20 to 200, then 200 to 500. Communicating that would be good. It's obvious what they're trying to do. This like, hey, here's a tutorial version of the skill. To try it out, get yourself going and try it out and see if you like it, and then you can slow down the grind then. But yeah, it needs to be a little bit more clear.
But it's such a missed opportunity, because they designed the profession so well. And I think Samuel even mentioned this on the other Tales of the Shores where he was on, right? Where he's like, we were considering having it go from 0 to 100, and then we decided to stretch it out so that people could like more consistently get that dopamine hit from like leveling up. And it's so well designed because the time per level is super consistent for the three brackets they're respectively in. But then they just don't communicate to you that those three brackets actually exist, and it's a really big missed opportunity.
Prentice, did you remember when you hit your first 20?
No.
You don't remember it?
No, I don't remember what I got to 21st, but
oh no,
it
just
might
how
have
you
been.
felt.
Yeah, like it definitely slowed down a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like before I knew what was going on, like I was grinding out, what is it, 61 chef, and I did vegetable stews the entire way. It was like the level 25 vegetable stews all the way to 61 chef, and that felt like the longest grind ever. It was like literally taking an hour a level.
To yourself. Do not
I did.
do not play the game. You did that to yourself.
I mean, in reality, we're all a bunch of little masochists playing this game because we put ourselves through like hours and hours of grinding, doing the exact same thing over and over again, expecting things to change. But yeah, we're doing it for fun, right?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. That's what we tell ourselves. No, it's fun.
Monkey
we
brain
all enjoy
number
it.
go up.
We all enjoy it. Exactly. Number go up. This is news. Literally, this is news. So brightershores.com/news is a new site now, and you can actually view the news in-game. The in-game news on the actual website. So you don't need to go to X/Twitter or whatever if you don't, agree with that. And so there's news about news. News about news is about news. We ask news, so you delivered. We'll be sharing news on our website. This is good. This is a good change. We need more information on the website. It's still kind of baby web dev, to be honest, but it's better.
I'm glad they're putting it on the official platform.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's one of the complaints I had a long time ago before the game came out. Basically, the only source of information we had was Andrew's Twitter, and that was it. And there was like there's this whole, I did a video on it a while ago, but there's this whole arc of like, they even released the trailer, the second trailer. Did you know there's 2 trailers for this game?
Yeah.
And it got leaked, but then it was never published by the marketing team. It was never released by Andrew. It stayed unlisted. And the only reason it got published was because someone took it, downloaded it, and re-uploaded it on their own channel. But this is so much better. Like that, we had no idea. But then they've been using the Steam news, and they've got website news, and it's all, the communication has been really good. It's been a huge step up.
Honestly, we're lucky to have the developers that we have. I think with a lot of other games, especially a certain other one that some of us might have been playing for 2 decades, we're lucky with this development team for sure.
I think people get really invested in the game and forget that it's only been a week. So the things that need to be fixed that they are working on being fixed aren't fixed fast enough. There's a little bit of an expectation thing there, but it's only because it's a live service title with quite a small team. Most other games don't get this kind of attention from even larger teams. So you're right.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the team so far. Like, I've found so many, I call them micro brilliancies, where it's like little tiny things that if you're not looking for them, you don't find them, but is brilliant design.
Mm-hmm.
One example is the merchant skill is essentially a gamified version of the traveling salesman problem, which is a computer science problem that has no real solution. Google it if you're interested, but it's brilliant.
Do you think that Andrew is the type of person to take that traveling sales problem, the science, the programming science problem, and just integrate it into the game design intentionally? Do you think that's what happened?
Yes. Also, because the skill is called merchant, and the
Right.
problem is the traveling salesman problem. So I feel it was intentional.
I haven't heard this perception before. That's really cool. I didn't realize that. And you're saying it's unsolved or like not really solvable?
Well, it's not solvable. I think it's using linear algebra or something. It's
Right.
a little bit beyond me, but there are ways you can approximate it, and that's how the route finder works. It
Yeah, the
uses
route
a
finder.
specific algorithm
Mm-hmm.
to get good enough, but there is no perfect solution, really.
That's really interesting. Yeah, no, merchant's been a huge proof to me, even though it's not like a lot of people love it. There are a lot of people who hate it. But if you see it for what it is, I think it shows that they have really good ideas that they can execute upon that we'll hopefully see later on, which we've discussed before on here. And just like, you know, the really interesting design, like the more interesting skills and design choices we might see later on. Really looking forward to it. And they have a little bit of a big shoes to fill, to like fill those expectations as well. Like, hey, we've stepped it up. Episode 4 is what we worked on last. Here's some new interesting stuff. Let's go on episode 5 and let's innovate and expand on that.
I have really high hopes for episode 5 because if you look at the first 4 episodes, like sequentially, like side by side, you can really see the quality of the content like gradually improve, and also like how interconnected the various professions are.
Yep.
Like the E4 professions are just so much more interconnected than like E1 is. But it's also really interesting what you mentioned about like seeing the different features evolve, because merchant is nothing more than an expansion on the proof of concept that was chef bounties. Like you're you're doing merchant in episode 1, except for it's like merchant, but like 5% of the content.
Yep. Yeah. And the more interesting skill in episode 1 is what integrates with everything else, which will be alchemist. So, you know, that integrates with everything. And then maybe they started with Fisher, and that is why it feels a little weak compared to some of the later ones.
Oh, Fisher is a disaster. Literally, I'm so happy that I picked Fisher, like, to be my first 500, because it's so useless. It's so useless.
It wasn't useless until we found out Merchant Leatherworker exists, and then it was useless.
No, then it just became extra useless. No, it's just like the fastest way to train it doesn't really involve banking any fish. The only fish you actually like profit off of are the puffers and the eels, and you sell those. You don't even like use them for anything. And then like the optimal route for like going through the chef profession doesn't use any fish either. And
I disagree. I think that like in terms of racing, yes, 100%. You're not leaving. You're just buying everything from Kevin. In terms of like time invested, okay, Grenards are really bad. Like I get that. Rays are pretty bad too, but I think I'd have to put it all together in like this really big calculation. But like I do think that if you spend the time getting bass, even though it's a little bit slower, banking it, you improve your rates on chef. I think it balances out. So if like you take a total time invested, 500 Fisher, 500 chef together versus separately, I think it would be faster, if that makes sense. I hope it's faster. I hope it's faster. Dropping is
here's
just
the
really
thing:
strong.
the co-op fishing is an absolute nightmare, because if you do
Yes.
it co-op, you get a reduced XP rate compared to doing it solo. And with the exception of the cod at level 454, there's no point in ever doing it. And I would argue that the time you would waste on using like catching bass and cod in order to speed up your chef grind could just be compensated elsewhere.
I know.
Like with
that's the tricky part. That's the really tricky part of deciding where it all fits. And honestly, it might just be a numbers adjustment. Co-op should be better. Co-op 100 should be better.
Yeah, definitely. It's just that the catching animation is like longer, so in a single 2-minute XP pod. You can catch, I think it's 9 or 10 fish solo and only like 8 fish in co-op, and it's just you get slightly more XP per catch, but it's not enough. Like it doesn't offset it at all.
The thing about like merchant and leatherworking too is I don't think it's as profitable as people think it is. People who are selling all their leather are really shooting themselves in the foot if they have any plan to train armorer.
You're a banker. You're one of those
Yeah,
guys.
well, I'm doing a hybrid, bank half, sell half. I still make profit, but I'm still prepping as well.
I'll probably do that as well. But yeah,
but like
it's even faster to bank too.
Yeah, if you look at the merchant you go to sell your leather, you can, if you go to buy and then view hidden items or like unavailable items, you can see how much it's going to cost you to buy that leather back for when you're training armorer, and it's like 4 times the amount of money you get for selling it.
Oh, it's even more expensive?
Yeah, it is crazy expensive. One leather in like the top tier is like 150 silver for one leather to buy from the shop.
Huh.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get like 15 plat to be able to get like 20 armor. It's going to be great.
That's one way to fix the economy problem.
Yeah, exactly, right?
What economy?
The economy is buying a trowel at level 20. That's the economy. The struggle buying a trowel.
It was bad. I mean, I didn't even get that one until like, I think like 2 days, 3 days into the game. I was just buying fishing spears, as you do. That's great. It's perfect.
I had to cut V off from talking about Fisher again, so we're going to move on.
You should get 500 Fisher. Make it your first one. Go for the most useless profession in existence. It's chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. If you didn't know, on top of the news post, Samuel did create a fan research Twitch channel. I'll pop it in link in the chat as well. This hasn't gone live yet. He has spoken about doing official streams. Spiegel Dev or from brightshores.pro found it created pretty quickly. Dude's like a ninja. He's got his little fingers in every pie. But he found it. He posted on Reddit. Here's the channel. It doesn't have much about it yet, but we'll hopefully see some more stuff about it later. Samuel's been taking a little bit on a back seat on the streaming front, just to focus more of his energy on the support side of things and the community side of things. So we'll see how that goes, if they're still going to do something with this.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the Twitch, because there's so many opportunities here for them, right? Like, obviously, we don't know what their plans are, but they did do that poll, of course. But it would be really cool if we could actually see some episode 5 content before the episode actually comes out. Like, nothing super spoilery, but just like a few small tidbits here and there. Maybe we could see how the armor profession actually works, like super briefly,
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of things I would like to see them do on like the official Twitch. That'd be cool.
I think a trailer would be good, but I do think withholding information, as frustrating as it is, it's really powerful, because we will get that launch experience that we got, that we discussed earlier, with every episode launch. It'll be a joy to not only, and it's not with strangers now, it's with the friends we've made along the way. Yes, I used that. Together, exploring a new episode together. That's going to be probably the highlight of all of our game time spent on the game. Like, we're doing a lot of grinding here and there, but the joy of discovery of getting in that new episode and stuff, that's going to be a lot of fun. And Pernus really wants to do Builder.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Builder. Yeah, you're right. I was like, I want to give us information on it, but I don't. We think we want information, but we don't. We should just need to wait.
Yeah.
We should see someone do like a gameplay series where they just get like the minimum stat requirements, like absolute minimum stat requirements to make it to episode 5. and then like have a character named Bob, and they should just go 500 builder right away. That'd be so good.
I thought about changing my name to Bob, but I'm sure it's taken.
Bob's probably taken. Bob the Builder
Yeah,
might not be, unless actually wait.
Now
give
it
me,
is.
2 minutes. Yeah, now it is. My bad. This is really cool. I wanted to highlight this. Kuamori, this is a person inside of V's community, hit 500 chef. Not like as any particular like amazing rank or anything like that, but not to downplay it, but it doesn't matter because everyone, like, look at all these green names, jumped in and celebrated this train. I love this image of the train. This is so cool. Going to get the cape, like, so hitting 500, going to get the cape, and then this, like, this is so cool.
It's literally 2005, like RS2 99 parties all over again.
Yeah.
It's honestly, like, I was way too young to be part of those parties back then, and getting to like experience that now is really, really cool.
This is cool because everyone's stopping to do what they're doing. Like, not everyone in here is a chef person, but they all came out, and you know, the word gets out that your friend's hitting 500, and I can't make them because it's always like 2 a.m. my time, and you guys are unreasonable. But
you're on the other side of the world.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I try.
Just move. Just
move. I'll move
just
to the UK. I'll hang out with Samuel. This is really cool. I love this. This is what I live for. Kels is in there. Everyone's in there. Everyone. And another thing as well, the cool thing about like all these green names and stuff is if you have been playing for a bit and the way that the room system works, and we've talked about all this before, but you can recognize a lot of these names as well. I know either from the leaderboards or in your travels or from playing the game. It's all usually people that you've seen, and that's really cool. I think having
such a good thing about this game at this point, like everyone's on the same server, because like, you know, this is actually a really interesting point. A lot of people were like, oh, the player count's so low, the player count's so low. But a lot of the time, we're all on one big server right now because there's not too many people. So it'll happen super frequently what you're describing, that you're just walking along and suddenly you see like a few people, and a day later you'll see them again, and like the day after that you'll actually get in a conversation with them, and everyone's like, oh, I've seen you doing that, I've seen you doing this. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm always here to celebrate these kinds of things. So grats Kuramori for 500 chef. And yeah, great work on the grind. It's I think getting a 500 will always be like a paramount like celebration because of how everyone knows how much work it is now. It's not like a 99. It is a full 200 mil.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting if they ever do decide to like make the XP curve go up to like 2 bill or something like that, and we'll just see everyone on the leaderboard scramble to get that last like 139 mil.
No chance. No way. It'd
be so good.
It's gonna make so many people mad.
I'm totally not saying that because I secretly want to be like rank 4 or 3 for sure, you know.
Sneak a couple of ranks in there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just real quick, you know. Hey Samuel, if you're seeing this, you know, hit me up, bump me up.
Alrighty. So speaking of 500s, we do have a couple of guests for this episode. I'm going to bring them on now. So just we'll have a quick message first, and then we'll bring on Strafe, 500 Stonemason person. When you play Brighter Shores, does it look a little like I have a sponsor video playing at the moment? Or this? Strafe, I'm gonna, or maybe this? Well, you're not alone. You are now If you too have the tism that requires you to play multiple games while simultaneously watching YouTube to drown over the anxiety over global economic strife with enough dopamine to fill a lake, which we honestly need because every year is getting hotter and hotter, have I got the sponsor for you. Instant Gaming will let you buy the games you were going to buy anyway at deep discounts from authorized resellers. Because you'll be always buying on a sale, you can feel more justified in your purchases. Look, You're practically making money at this price. Not only that, if you purchase using my link below, you'll support future episodes in doing so. I've even collected a list of some indie games I enjoy playing alongside Brighter Shores that are all in stock and on sale for as little as $1 in the description. Now, let's bring on the first guest. Hello. Welcome, Strafe. Sorry.
Hello.
Just a moment. I need to recover financially and emotionally from that mistake, but we live. Strafe, hello. Welcome. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
So you hit 500 Stonemason.
Yes.
Tell.
It was the 17th of January, so it was like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So it was one of the last three 500s. It was all the three crafters. It took the most, like the longest.
Yes.
Yes. Were you there the whole? Like, was it just that slow? Were you doing it the whole time?
Well, the first weeks of the game, I was just doing random stuff, and Stonemason wasn't even my first 200. It was watch person and detective.
Mm-hmm.
But while I was doing that, I started caping into Stonemason, and then initially I decided to go for like a single-digit rank on it. I thought that would be really cool, and then things evolved, and it turned into a rank 1 race.
How did that evolution happen? So you like when you were up there and you're like, hey, I'm so far ahead, I can make this. So you started going harder, or how'd that go?
So the leaders, which were, I believe, players named Senax and Deceive at the time, I was catching up to them surprisingly quickly. And then Samuel had a little ban wave. Things happened, and all of a sudden, I'm rank 1.
Okay.
And after that, I just kept going at it.
So what rank were you before the ban wave?
So I believe right before the ban wave, I was pushing, and I got all the way to rank 2.
Okay.
So
and did you know
Senax
the person
at the time
ahead of you?
Yeah, so Senax was rank 1, and I knew that he was doing a lot of mining, and then I initially thought that he opted out because he vanished from the leaderboards. However, then I started hearing how, I think it was rank 3 or 4, Chef apparently got banned. And I'm using the word banned here, but I guess technically penalized is the right word. And then I heard the rank 1 mining at the time, Rita Orr, apparently got banned as well. So I put 2 and 2 together and figured out that Senax got hit with the hammer, so to speak.
Okay. So the journey to 500, how much of that was mining and how much of it was bought?
Exactly 0 of it was mining. My mining level is 32.
Wow.
And I want to also make it very clear that the reason why I went with surprise leatherworking and merchant was simply because when I decided to push Stonemason, my Stonemason was already 200-ish, and my mining was and still is 32. So I figured there's no reason for me to now start trying to get 200 mining levels to catch up with Stonemason. So
yes, yeah,
I just
exactly.
kept going with, yeah, exactly.
And you're a hammer mage, right? just had to
I
cross
am
that off the list.
yes, I am hammer mage.
There is one
Oh,
person I'm
yes.
thinking. Yeah, there's one person I'm thinking of who's like a hammer mage whose highest is burn right.
Oh God.
So they're like a guardian of heart.
Mm.
So I'm just like, I had to just make sure we knew. Okay, so the banhammer was thrown out. We have you take my number 1. Now, when you took number 1 after the little wave, how far ahead were you?
So at that time, I think DC was like 10 levels behind me. But I kept pushing, and so before I opted out, because I did opt out eventually, I got all the way to 340. Second place was 296, and that player had actually quit the game. I knew that. So the gap to the next active player was something like 60 levels.
Is Stonemason profitable at all?
If you're buying the stone, it is not profitable at all.
Okay, so you can't do any like level manipulation or whatever, where it's like you do a certain level to craft more epics and stuff, purples and stuff. That's not really.
I mean, 0 to 200 from what I've heard, because I KP'd most of it, so I don't really know that closely. But from what I've heard, 0 to 200 is more or less free.
Okay.
You basically get back what you spent.
Yeah, yeah. How hard did you grind it in terms of hours and stuff?
So before something happened, which I can talk about in a minute, I was doing about 16 hours a day. And then something happened, and the last 2 weeks of the grind, I was doing minimum 20-hour sessions.
Was that that sounds like maybe the leaderboard change?
No, there was, I met a person, I got really pissed off, and I started pushing harder.
Spite! Yes! Powerful!
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Okay. I thought maybe the opposite happened. Like you found out you're really high in the ranks when the anon fix happened, so you just kind of like, oh yeah, I'll just take it, ease up the gas. But you sent it. Okay.
No, I sent it. I met a guy who pissed me off. He was my main competition at the time. He said some stupid things in the chat about me. He made some accusations. I got pissed off and I started playing harder.
Oh god, this is what the chef people miss out on. It's kumbaya over there. The mines are no joke.
This race was very. There was no kumbaya in this race.
Well, congratulations. Any questions from the Peanut Gallery?
Did you do much, like, were you KPing Stonemason the entire way while you were training it?
I started fully KPing it around 220.
Okay. And did you bother with any of the like wooden poles, or just doing only the stone stuff?
So you will go bankrupt really badly if you do any of the wood requiring things. And in fact, I skipped on basalt, granite, and deathstone. So I only did flint and andesite. I only did the 3 stone recipe.
Yeah, that stone makes sense. I've heard that's a little bit of a challenge with the mining stuff. So poles are really expensive to buy?
Yes, very expensive. But also the other stone with because the recipes for granite, for example, requires 5 stone per recipe, while something like andesite is 3, so that's also a lot more expensive.
Yeah. I wonder if with the news, well, with what Prentice just told us about the leather being really expensive. If poles might be used in builder that way, then if they're quite expensive to buy raw. Oh.
Builder might be really expensive then, actually.
Yeah, because I don't bank poles. Sorry, but fuck that. I'm not walking out there to bank them when the vendor's right there.
I think I banked my 32 carpenter grind. I think I have like 3,000 hickory poles, and that's it.
Yeah.
After that, I just gave up.
Geez,
That's
a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's hard to say if the poles will be used in builder, because it doesn't show any information on the card, which we've seen from other things, but that doesn't mean the card can't change.
Yeah, there's arguments for and against it. But I think that's kind of an argument for. So I didn't realize that the poles were super expensive, but it makes sense to scale. It also just like one vendor source, right? You go to one vendor, you buy the stone, you come back. Oh, you had to do the slugs too, right, Strafe?
Yes, I did. I have no idea how many hours I spent on that total, but yeah.
Did you do like 1,000 and then do it, or you just do one inventory, run out, or?
Oh, I did 1,000. I fully loaded up the machine.
Yeah, that makes sense. I probably would do that too if I was doing that.
How long does that last you if you fully fill it up? Like, how long can you keep going for?
Maybe 8 hours or 10. I don't know.
Okay, it's like a day's worth. It's like you wake up your morning, you have your coffee, you pick up some slugs, pump them in the machine, and then you're ready for the day's work.
Well, from what I'm hearing, he was doing like 16 to 20 hour days, right? So two and a half patience of slugs.
Oh man!
But also buying the stone took a while. Like I bought 9,000 stone in one batch once, and I think that took me like 4 hours just going back and forth.
Oh my god, I hadn't even thought of that. Like with like the other professions, like with Fisher, I was just constantly stabbing fish. But you have these entire sections where you're just like not gaining anything. You're just buying and like running to the bank.
Yeah, it's you'll find that trading will really change the meta in this way, because the ability to bulk trade will make things quite valuable for these types of things.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see how that kind of plays out, being able to bulk buy and sell. Because running as well will become a thing as well, where you, for example, run bread for really fresh out of the gate. If you run something like bread, which is a universal item, that'll be worth quite a lot of money, I think, to some higher level players. It's just that they can skip that part.
With how nuts this community is, I think we'll actually maybe even see some people who are just gonna like completely math out like how many items you need for 200 to 500 in a certain profession, and then just buy all those things and just sell a like level 500 kit in one go.
Yeah, you can do that with my sheets. You could, if you wanted to, you could use my sheet to figure out how many. I mean, you've got. I did a quick guy, like a little infographic on Chef in particular. I want to do more of them too, and it shows you exactly how many of every single resource you need. So that's gonna be kind of how things go down the line.
The second you made that infographic, I popped that right in the client Discord right away, and everyone's been so grateful for it.
I need to do one for Alchemist too, and then hopefully one for the crafters, so we can do like Strafe, as you said. The route is definitely gonna be something like skip all the pole stuff, unless you hate yourself. So it's interesting. We'll see how things change as trading comes out. We might get a vendor adjustment as well, so we'll see how that goes. Did you? One last question. Did you use pots?
Oh yes. Most of the grind I used only on KP, but then towards the end, like last 100 levels, I started using it on crafting as well.
Okay, so a lot of dropping involved there, or did you just do 3 items at a time?
Well, I dropped my potions, and then I crafted an item, and I picked up my potions, and then I drank it, crafted 3 items, potioned again.
Yeah.
There was a lot of dropping happening.
Yeah, that's the classic. Yeah, well, that's what it takes to get rank 1. So Well, congratulations again. What are you gonna do now? You can take it easy now, or go for the mines, or
well, after 500, I've gotten about 200 merchant levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably doing Kreno. I don't have any plans of like racing a rank or anything like that, but I think focusing Krenopolis is the way to go.
Yeah. You got a good start there too, and you'll also be really set up for selling weapons and stuff down the line, if you so desire.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. Did you have anyone you wanted to shout out? Did you make any friends in the mines, or is it all just enemies?
I did make some friends in the mines as well. Yeah, I do want to shout out. I want to give a shout out to 2Tap. He's currently rank 3 in Stonemason, and he'll most likely be the first 500 Stonemason to do it with mining.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that's good.
So that's pretty cool.
He's gonna
I
be
also want to give a
rich.
shout out. Yes, I'm sure he's made some decent decent bank. I also want to give a shout out to Dalton, who I think the other day got 500 Stonemason, so he's rank 2.
Oh, cool.
So big congrats to Dalton. He also helped me fill out the Wiki experience, so that was really nice of him. And finally, I want to give a shout out to a player named RNG, because this was during the grind. He was like the one nice conversation I had. This guy was rank 1 for a little while. He quit the game later. And actually, when I talked with him, he quit right after. And he said that he really hoped that I would get the rank 1. So here we are. I got the rank 1.
Although you do worry me, because everyone around you either gets banned or quit. So maybe.
No, I had nothing to do with it. No, he's playing again. He's playing again.
Okay. Safe face.
He's back. Okay.
No, it's good.
Yes.
I do want to.
Bribe them.
Yeah, bribe them back. I want to add just one last thing as well. I do like that you pointed out the number 3 to get who mined it all, because like a lot of the conversation is like, oh, buying is the best way to do the skill, right? But buying is the fastest way to do the skill. It is not necessarily the best, because while he will be only rank 3, he's gonna have so much more money. He's not gonna have spent all this money on stone, running around pointlessly. He's gonna have mining level. It really sets you up if you just don't. It's just the rank 1 that you usually need to do the buying stuff for, which won't change as we get to the trading and stuff too.
No, trading is only going to make it more prevalent. And also, I guess the whether buying is faster or not really depends on how much gold per hour you're making. And
yeah, exactly.
To be fair, I had no idea if it would have been faster or not. I simply had such a low mining level that
you just kind of winged it. Well, thank you very much, Strafe. We're going to switch over to someone else here. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Now I see Cabbage Man. This is... Oh,
I'm
it's
so
a cabbage.
excited
I was wondering what it was. It's a cabbage.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. Hi, V. Hi, Till. Hi, Protus.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
He's got a
How y'all doing?
cabbage.
Oh, yeah, you
I'm
can't
very
see it.
well, thanks.
This is my child. This is Louis Joe Billy Jr. the Third. Everyone say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Louis Joe Billy the Third?
Louis Joe Billy Jr. the Third. Sorry.
Junior the
It's
Third.
Junior.
Okay.
Yes, I apologize.
Where's the senior?
Hello, everybody. I'm going to set Billy Joe down, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys? I'm beautiful.
I'm good, thanks.
That's
First
good
of
to hear.
all, let's just rip this off. What are you dressed up as?
Oh, that's a great question. You're the only person that's asked about it. It's shocking to see that no one brings it up.
Everyone's thinking it. I'm just gonna ask.
I am dressed as myself. I make music as well. So for me, the image is part of the music persona, but more so it is a way to show my emotions on the outside. So I'm sorry if I look like scary to anybody. This is just how I express myself. So take it as an art form.
Okay. I'm a frog, so I can't complain. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Cool.
Good. Let's talk cabbages. So
I can't wait.
So this is a throwaway joke that happened on the Q&A stream with Samuel. I said, his wife is crazy and has been carrying around a cabbage since day one, all the way to Kren, hasn't dropped it. And I said, hey, you know those one item challenges? Wouldn't it be crazy if someone took 23 of them all the way to Kren without dropping a single one? And then what was your thought when I said this? Because you probably watched it, right?
Yeah, I think I was there. I joined that stream like late. I'm pretty sure I was a little late, but I joined in like a little before that. So I think when you guys said that, something inside of me sparked. You revived an ancient demon from another realm that came to life through the form of cabbage. So I think, I don't know. It seemed like an interesting way to play. For me, I have probably 6 different accounts at this point. I've restarted. I've gotten through Hope Forest. I've gotten to the mines. I've been to Chronopolis. And there was just a certain point where, you know, I just got tired of grinding all day. You know, it's like right now, currently, the game is real bare bones and a lot of stuff is being implemented. So I think the grind definitely wore on me. So when I saw an opportunity to put myself through complete torture and hell, I took it. And I'm glad to be here today. Thank you, Tel, for having me on. Hello, everybody. It's nice to see y'all. The Cabbage Man is here in the flesh. I love every single one of you.
And you are one item in game, right?
Yes, that's my username. One item. Not Cabbage Man, unfortunately. It's been stolen.
You'll have to,
I half expected you to be a cabbage, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
I raised Joey Bill Jr. What was his name? Oh, fuck.
You forgot already. You forgot your sons.
My child, no. Yeah.
And okay, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna run with this, and then you launch the images, the trailer, and then you put out a 20. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I really genuinely, I'm sorry, I didn't know to expect much, and I think wholeheartedly, I think you knocked it out of the park. I think you did really well with it.
Thank you.
I didn't know how the challenge would work. I knew you wouldn't be able to do chef, but I thought you might get stonewalled in certain parts, but you persisted.
I had to, man. I feel like if I let everyone else down by stopping, I would let myself down. I feel like it's kind of become like a mental challenge for me, you know. Like, I've been through some hardships IRL, not to get personal and stuff, but that's why I turned to brighter shores. I currently am not working and stuff. You know, I had hardships with my job and stuff. So I think this has been a good way to fill the void and kind of prove to myself that I could kind of like bring back an old, more social version of myself. I've been going through a lot of antisocial behavior and things like that in the past months. So I don't know. It's been really good for me and healthy. And I think it's.
Yeah, like you say in your videos all the time, people recognize you and they always say hello and you always chat back. So I'm sure you're making a lot of friends with this.
Yeah, so many. I appreciate everybody, really. You guys all motivate me and hold me up. Anyone listening, by the way, I can't even explain it. Like, I get emotional over like how much support people have actually offered. It's just a meme, like, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So what are you working on now?
Currently, I'm stuck in the mines. You guys, last update for you guys, I left the forest, right? Like, I finished the forest. So I don't record anything ahead of time. Everything you see me in, you know, if you see me in game running gas or, you know, cutting trees or whatever, opening chests, it's all live in time, me grinding footage for the next episode. So currently we're in the mines. I thought the mines were going to be a lot easier than the forest. I really like went into it. Like, the chest thing was like, oh, this is hell. Okay, mines. Oh, I get to take a break. I'm so excited. I get to the mines and I realize like mining is easy. Mine fighter is pretty simple, right? But then you get to the 3 crafting professions where you have to make weapons, right? Stonemason, bone wright, blacksmithing, I believe, right? Absolute hell, absolute torture. Running gas one by one. Oh my goodness, dear Lord, Mother Mary!
We've gone from Strafe, who does 1,000 at a time, and now we've gone to Cabbage Man, who does 1 at a time.
Completely opposite of the dynamic. I'm literally breaking my ankles over here, carrying 23 cabbages everywhere. It's been hell, but I've made it through 2 out of 3 skills. No spoilers for the episode, so we're almost there. And everyone in the mines has been really positive and supportive, so it's fun. You know, it's cool to see the community between each little area and how
just
everyone's
so people know, I knew this ahead of time. He didn't, which is really funny to me. But just so you know, with blacksmithing, all you need to know is that with blacksmithing, stonemason, and bone is if you put one item in the vat and you take it out, you get experience. But that is the only way.
He is totally right. He is totally right. Literally, you cannot craft with one item slot. You cannot make any weapons, any armors, no shield.
It's almost worse that it gives you experience, because if it didn't, you could just give up on it. But because
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Because it does, you have to do it all the way, one item at a time to 20.
This explains so much, because I saw you with the goblin smelter. We briefly interacted there, and I saw you ping pong. I was like, what have you been doing?
I know you saw me scream out Kaba G, I think it was V, whenever you were there. Yeah, I got to get my little praise into Cabas every now and again.
I see him in game. I gotta praise Cabas. It's just how it works.
He just
he caught me like in the middle of hell.
One worm or whatever is 10 gas, right? Which normally gets you 60 stone.
Yes.
But it gives you 10 actions, which you can only do one stone.
It literally takes so long, and people are like at this point where like they don't believe me, right? Until they see me in game for 15 hours running slugs, running stone, running ores.
I thought the peak was gonna be 10% pots, but this is so much better. I can't wait.
Oh my god, Tell. And I didn't know, right? Like
I knew.
Cool,
I knew. I didn't tell you.
I think you said like you didn't want to give me too much info. You were like, good luck.
I said you'll figure it out. And
I
want to see the moment.
I fucking remember this.
I said I want to see
now I'm paying for
the moment where you figure out what you can do, which is you put a stone in, you get one experience or whatever it is.
Oh my god!
As soon as I knew that would happen, I was like, I didn't want him to live that moment, because the second he gets the experience pop up, it's just gonna be like,
I think it's like 40 or 50 for like all three each. I think it's like around anywhere 30, 40, 50. It's nothing. It's like hourly you get like maybe 5 to 8K experience. It's like
super great. Definitely keep at it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you guys have any questions for Cabbage Man here?
I just want to know, like, how are you going to deal with it if they like down the line release a profession with some kind of limitation where you're just not able to train it, and they just stonewall you in that episode and you just can't progress? Like, what are you going to do?
I think so far with like things that are impasses, I have to move past them. Like chef was a good example. Like I can't even train chef, like cooking bacon. You would think it gives you experience. No, it does not. You are stuck at bacon. I think when it comes to it, I will try. I am 100% committed to like slamming my head into these walls over and over until I, am dizzy. So we'll probably try a little bit of that, V. And then after that, we might evaluate our options. If episode 8, 9, 10 comes out before then, we might have to postpone that and come back to it later. Unfortunately, you can only do so much with one item, and I got to keep the series moving, right? So it sucks to put deadlines and stop everything.
I thought that too, V, because carpentry is a requirement, right? You need to, you can't process a log into planks. You can't process a log into planks because you need 2 slots for it. And I thought for sure he'd get stuck. But then I was chatting with him, and then we realized that, the chests where Pronos is getting the bricks from? It has the drop table for every item in the game in Forest.
Oh.
So he just sat
every
there.
Single one?
I think it's per episode. Like Forest drop Forest items.
Cabbage Man is probably the only one who sat there and done it for like as much as anyone has.
30 hours.
He's probably the best to say it. But do you think it's every item in that episode?
I think so, yes. We can't, obviously, I need more data. We have a whole wiki page being built off of it and charts and stuff. So I think all we could do is continue to just open chests as a community and collect data. But as of now, I do believe it is like every node-based item within the episode you're in, whatever chest you're opening. So hopefully you can get potions out here. What was that, V?
You can make a really cool spin-off there, actually. You can do like a loot from 10,000 random craft
chests.
Oh,
that's a good idea. That might be like YouTube short content right there. I might be able to get my first YouTube short up with that. Opening 1,000 chests, case simulator, Brighter Shores.
we had a
Gamble
couple.
with me, link in bio. Wait, no, don't do that. Okay,
We had a couple.
Writer Shores has loot boxes. What?
Yeah,
What?
gambling mechanics. Come on. What?
Soon,
What's
soon.
up, Fed? Did you get a weapon or armor above uncommon? Did you get rares and stuff?
From the chest?
Yeah.
No, it's all common. So it's like I don't know. There's like an armor drop table I'm learning. Like armors are like dropping specific ways and based off of percentages and values. I don't know much about it. I just pick cabbage. So it's all been common armor and weapon
I'm
drops
just a
though.
common farmer.
I'm literally that guy. I'm so like you guys are talking about ranks and numbers and experience and like all these future plans. I'm sitting in the back eating cabbage, guys. I promise you. I love it though.
Did you just got Hope Forest items though, right? Or did you get like mine ores and stuff or?
It was just Hope Force items. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have an entire page that I've sent off to the wiki. I don't know if you guys know Mysticalia, but she's great. She's doing really good wiki work. She updated all the drop rates and chests and items and stuff. We got anything from like gathering items over to logs, over to bones, spikes, and also in Hopeport, like I said, I hear you can get potions and stuff. So I don't know. It'll just take more experimenting, unfortunately. But as of now, it looks like every item from the episode is in those chests. You just have to spend a lot of time doing it.
Yeah.
What will you do if you pick up a cabbage in Hopeport from one of the chests on accident?
Oh my God, I'm locked. I literally can't do anything at that point. I can't drop cabbages.
That's it. You're cooked.
Actually disabled on my account. You cannot right click drop. Okay, so I wish.
But anyway, V, so what happened was we looted the chest for the planks that you needed to repair the bridge.
Yeah, I ended up I think I did 29 hours with no planks, and in the last hour I got all 4 planks. So
which I did have a chat with Samuel. I said, "Hey, listen. Did you change anything?" And he said, "Absolutely not. I want him to suffer."
Nope, it's been confirmed.
You had a weird luck thing.
I think I finally, I hit the KC, once you hit 1,000 KC, you finally you're guaranteed to drop, for whatever it is. So.
Yeah.
Boss battles of chess are like the real ultimate boss battle in this game. So
that's so funny. So yeah, hopefully if you get stonewalled again, you can just chest your way out of it.
I'm excited. I wanted to test the mine chest, but unfortunately this episode is taking a lot of time. So I might have to be in Kryn opening chest. Pronus, help me out with that when I get there.
And just a little bit of juice for you. Chronopolis is 100% possible too. You can do merchant, and I'm going to enjoy you get it to 20.
Oh my dear Lord!
You can submit items one at a time. You can buy the item, you can run it, turn it in, run back, buy the next one. You'll be the only person to do merchant like that, and I want to watch you suffer through the entire thing. Go watch Cabbage Man.
Glad.
The series is great. He's done a really good effort with it, and is truly, truly good to see someone suffer.
Thank you, guys.
I love how we're all rooting for you, but we all want you to suffer just so much.
Fine. I love that you guys get to watch my pain. It's enjoyable.
It's like vicarious
masochism.
Vicarious masochism. I love it. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, I appreciate you all. Everybody in the community has been so supportive. Tel, V, Pronus. I've just met you guys, some of you. So I appreciate all of you. And I think you're all doing really good on your own grinds. Everyone just remember to stay focused and remember that we're only human at the end of the day. I also got to shout this out. I'm also, in here binge drinking energy drink to stay awake. I saw it since the beginning, VA. Everybody keep doing your thing. Stay positive. Stay focused. Remember to take care of yourself.
I got a couple questions before you take off.
All right, let's hear it.
Are you planning to upgrade your cabbages to red cabbages and or Napa cabbages at like level 450?
That is such a good question. I just learned of these cabbages probably 3 days ago. And I know you brought it up before the stream, and it kind of got me like, I got like goosebumps about it because I am really kind of planning that in a way. But at the same,
yes.
Yeah, it's in
merchant / alchemy. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. I see. Yeah.
He might be able to chest one without getting 450.
That's true.
Maybe pull one from the chest.
Wait, it's level 450?
There's
Wait
two.
A minute, Bronus? Wait a minute.
There's 2 different types of upgraded cabbages.
Are
There's
you
one at
suggesting that I
450
go
and one at
crazy and
there's one at 143. So that one's not
okay,
bad.
okay, yeah, that's more bearable. Totally within reach, you know. Another 80 hours of running merchant. I am thinking about replacing them with the fancy cabbages. The only downside is obviously I've carried these since the beginning of the game, so they do kind of in a weird way have a meaning. I know it's all virtual bits or whatever, but I think Cabot would be very upset if I trade them. So we'll see. Maybe there will be another party that comes in and convinces me, but I can't spoil any of the storyline down the road. So
And
we'll
just
see.
one other thing with the say for the bone vats or whatever, how you have to dip them one at a time.
Yeah.
Like can't you just like put one in the vat, run, grab another one, put another one in the vat, and then dip like the 2 and like fill up the vat that way?
I don't think you can. I think it takes you out of it. I'm pretty sure that when you like exit,
I didn't even think of that, dude. What the hell? That's a thing. You could do that. I'm doing that. I've been.
I don't know if you'll be able to get them out.
Like 60 hours in the mine, one by one, dude. Like
That's
crazy.
Test on an alt to make sure you can withdraw.
Oh yeah,
them.
yeah.
Otherwise,
Cabbage
you
guy.
will. You
Well,
will.
you can't. That
Cabbage
won't
guy,
work.
I think, so.
Okay, chat's saying you can't do it.
You can't add.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Good.
Sorry,
don't
chat.
do it.
I wasn't seeing your beautiful
don't
faces, but hi.
Don't soft lock yourself.
Hi, chat. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'm, I'm down to 1 by 1, which is fine because I'm already committed at this point. So, actually, Bone Right is the last of the 3 that I have to do. The other 2 are 20 already. So, just to spoil it.
Bone Right will be the easiest one for you anyway.
Yeah, I don't have to get gas, right? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's the worst one personally. I can't with Bone Right.
It is the worst one. It is the worst one. It's just less bad for him.
For him, yeah.
For me, I don't have to run the gas. That was like another hour, 2, 3 hours sometimes. It's just a run gas.
Yep.
If there's anything I'm gonna KP to oblivion, it's that.
Oh right, yeah.
Doing it. No, thank you.
The Guardians would be so upset with you, V. Come on now.
That's okay. They already are. I'm a crybaby.
How many fish has she killed already? I think the Guardians are already pissed.
Oh, this is so true.
Harmlessly taken out of the water with her spear.
Well, it's okay. Aren't Cryonites like strong against Guardians?
Yes, we don't have to talk about that in here, V. That's an argument for another day. Okay, yeah, I don't like ice.
PvP drops.
I know this cabbage is half frozen in real life, but I promise you, I do not like ice.
What's the taunty mode in game again? Is it like flexing and then like that? I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah, something like that. Super meanie.
Come at me, Guardians.
Oof! Ouch! Me and V will be having a war in the Coliseum next Tuesday. You could stop by, get your tickets, $80 a piece. Bare knuckle fighting. Let's get it.
Bare knuckle. Where's the cabbages? I want cabbage gloves.
Bare cabbage fighting. Here, yeah, you're right. This is a big glove, V. This thing weighs like 8 pounds. Okay, be ready. We're using 8-pound gloves.
Nah, that's it. Come here.
Oh, the earrings are coming out. I have to take my mask off then. No, I can't do that on here. Sorry, guys. That's for another podcast.
Alrighty.
I'm glad everyone loves it. Thank you.
I'm going to cut you off, Cabbage Man. Please go watch the Cabbage Man series on YouTube. It's genuinely.
Hi, everybody. I love
really
you.
Good.
I love you. Please make sure you love, tell, and subscribe. And also check out V and also check out Pronus. Oh, he's over there. I love you guys. Take care.
See you, Cabbage Man. Have a good one.
Bye.
Have fun. Love you.
Oh, Pronus is off center again. Hello, Hester. How are you?
Oh, hello. I am well. How are you?
Very well, thank you. We gotta fix Pronus's name. So, Hester, you haven't gotten 500 or anything like that in any professions. No, you are on here because you have done a really
total
cool
level.
project. Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm total level. I think 241 at this point. So,
241. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Big level, big number.
And why?
But yes.
Why is that?
Well, so I've decided to play Brighter Shores in a very slow and steady way with a lot of self-imposed rules. Basically, the main one is that I go through one room a day. So I unlock one new room every calendar day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it will take me at this rate until late November of this year to finish episode 4.
Oh, okay. You've actually counted the rooms too. Okay, cool. I didn't know about these
There are
rules yet.
three.
So
Yes, so there are 380 rooms currently in the game. I only got to Hope Forest in the last 2 weeks.
mm-hmm.
It sounds like a nightmare, and I love it.
It is definitely different. I haven't heard these rules yet. So that's the one rule is just one room per day. And what do you do inside? You just play in that room, and then can you go back?
Yes, I can go back.
Yeah.
Basically, the other important rule is that I can't skip activities when training my skills. So, oh, and I have to gather all of my materials myself. So this leads to situations like I couldn't level up past level, um, I don't know, something ridiculous, level 20, total level 20 for a long time in Hopeport
Mm-hmm.
because I just kept getting unlucky with rolling for the nodes I needed. And there was someone in a clan Discord. It's not a very active clan, but back when we had a few people there, hopefully it revives at some point. Anyway, so there was a person there who was basically making fun of me a bit and saying, asking, hold on, lady. At some point, you're actually going to kill a crow. And it took me literally, I think, 58 days to kill Death Crow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, just really, really bad RNG.
Oh, so you roll the room randomly too? Kind of like
Unless I have
Help does?
yes, exactly. Unless I have a compelling story reason not to.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, in the quest where you have to retrieve the stolen darts, basically there's a warehouse that you have to raid. Spoilers. And so I assume that my character is smart enough to know how to get to the warehouse if she needs to.
Right. So you don't soft lock yourself on a quest until you randomly roll it. Fair enough.
Well, I'm actually having an interesting thing with my current objective, which is to finally touch the green goop and become a guardian. But the problem is that with my rules, I can't fight the
deer thing. The
the
elk.
deer thing.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Until I've fought a hoof forest goblin, a bear, a wendigo. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's neck, and I think I don't have to kill whatever the level 10 thing is.
Do you
But
have all this tracked out on a sheet or something? Or
oh yes, oh
yeah.
yes, I have a map that I'm updating. Eventually, I'm going to have to bother the Wiki map people to generate me an image from whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm using whatever someone cobbled together in the first days of playing. It's fine for now.
And another part of your challenge that kind of ties in really nicely is something that I believe you're working on right now on your desk there.
Well, no, this is another map I was doing.
This
I was
is a different map.
waiting
this is like
for
Chronopolis.
No, this is just no, I went to see some opera yesterday. And there was a number about a city being destroyed by an earthquake, so I drew that
Oh,
just
okay.
now. But yes, This is completely not related to Brighter Shores. Now, what is related to Brighter Shores is when I'm playing and I gain a level, I'm drawing the world of Brighter Shores, the game world. I want to get an overview map of the world tile by tile.
Mhm.
Uh, and so whenever I gain a level, I give myself a certain number of tiles based on the XP curve.
Yeah.
So level 0 to 1 is 1 tile. Level 20 to 21 is 20 times harder than that, so it's 20 tiles. Level 200 plus is 4 times harder than that, so it'll be 80 tiles per level.
Okay, I'm glad you're keeping track of your rules because I'm not. But we do
I'm
have
trying
this.
to follow along in my head, and it's just
I lost you there. But what I will,
Yeah.
It's complicated,
yeah,
but
I will pull up
but
your
yes.
your work here. You will leave the screen,
Yeah,
but
please
we'll
do.
still be able to hear you. Um,
Oh, yes.
so this is some of the
So
work that you've done. So this was
so
the
this is
obelisk?
Hope Obelisk.
Yep.
Yes.
Uh,
So this
here's
is my studio.
your studio. Yeah, this is really cool. So and you've got like the outlines done.
Yes, so whenever I unlock a room, I draw in the outline.
This is
And
great way to track where you've been.
and then I slowly draw it in.
Mhm.
Obviously, I gain, um, you know, anytime I don't do any specific room related leveling, I give myself one level in a skill that I'm focusing on right now. That's just Forager because that's literally the only skill I am freely able to train at the moment.
Yep.
Um, so so so, that's slowly been going ahead, and I'm trying to make it so that, skills from a given area contribute tiles to the map of the given area.
Mhm.
Right now, it's mostly Port.
This
This is
this
what
is
I posted to Reddit.
yeah, this is
This is,
and this is you
yeah,
said that this is your first time doing something like this as well, like in terms of drawing and coloring?
yes, yeah, yeah, so, I've been drawing maps a lot, but I'm bad at art, and I never did it in color. I just got, when I decided, okay, I want to do this, I just bought a box of
Mhm.
120 colored pencils and went for it.
That's really cool. I think
I
you
think it's
said,
very impressive.
yeah, this is awesome. This is what kind of like someone sent me this, and I'm like, okay, well, I
Oh, show
obviously
the cabbage, show the cabbage.
where the
Um,
cabbage is it up here?
yes, yes, it's on the wrong tile.
Is this it
But yes,
here?
I drew. No, no, this is it. This is it. It's a slightly different shade of green.
Oh, right
This,
here.
this,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the cabbage.
is that the wrong
And
tile?
yeah, it's supposed to be just south of this tree, one tile to the
Whoops.
east. But I was visiting my family for Christmas, and I was drawing this on the floor, and wasn't really paying attention.
Little did you
I
know
think
that
this
would be
is
the
so incredibly creative. I think this
yeah.
is so cool. Like, there's people out there saying, "Oh, I can't think of things to do in the game," and like, what's your excuse? Like, this is insanely cool.
And I think you said that
Well,
your line work got better as you did it more. So like as you
yes.
got into the rooms, I think
Yeah, yeah.
that's
So,
something else.
so
Yeah.
Captain Jal's room is like the first one I did, and it's not great.
Mhm.
And then over time, I sort of started. By the time I got to some of the other barracks buildings, I decided to give lighting a go, and eventually I got decent at that.
Mhm.
Figuring out how to do the ocean was fun.
I think it's gonna be really, really cool to see like, okay, this is your episode 1, and then if you keep at it, right, in a year's time, what your Chronopolis looks like. I think that's gonna be like, and you'll be able
Yeah,
to see the evolution as you go. I think it's gonna create some really, really cool work.
y- yes, and I'll do some updates as new content is released. Eventually, I'll run
Mhm.
out of tiles to commit to a given episode. So that's when I'll start to do redraws.
And also, this also captured my attention too. This is
Uh,
not
oh,
something
oh,
I've seen before.
So this is my take on the game world. It's doubtless not correct, but at the end of every episode, I do a take on the world map. And so don't tell my mother this, but I actually bought another box of 100 colored pencils of a different kind. And I just kind of had a go at it, and it turned out better than I was expecting.
This is cool.
But yeah, this is completely conjecture. This is not official lore in any way. I just in episode 2, apparently there's a guy who tells you about a whole bunch of other places that I don't even know about. So those will be in the next edition of the map. But this is it. You're running your cursor over Bleakholm.
Yeah, this gap here. This is from the the not the fan art, the official art, where this kind of.
Yeah. This is from the thing that got leaked. It's
episode 5.
People are speculating what it is.
Yeah, we actually found someone in my community found the actual in-game version of that picture that you're referring to. So it is actually in the game. It's one of the paintings inside Chronopolis.
Interesting.
But this is awesome. So we're going allegedly to Stonemore Hill. I love the forest here. How it's like kind of like you can see how it's standing and kind of looming over Hopeport.
Yeah, I stayed up until like 5 a.m. Trying to get that right. It just kind of locked in.
Yeah, no, this is cool. It's actually, honestly, I would say this part is probably pretty spot on. It's exactly what I could, if I was to picture it and like zoom out, this is definitely what I would see. I bet they even have an official map somewhere, official lore book. So it'll be really interesting to see how that compares.
I'm sure, yes. But one thing I was correct about is that apparently the Empire of Beva is adjacent to in the Punkib Desert. So
where is this? I've never heard of these. I don't know. Maybe I skipped dialogue, or like, is it main quest dialogue, side quest, or?
If you did the so the Punkib Desert, there's an NPC, the magic suppressor, who's from there. Is one of the first people you meet in game, and there's actually some novelty account that's RPing as the magic suppressor. I saw him a few times. The Empire of Beva, it was mentioned. I came across it. It was mentioned. This is where the Emperor ordered the Monobrow Sam to go and buy the stolen darts. And apparently it's mentioned in episode 2 that that those two are next to each other, but I didn't know that when I was drawing this.
Okay, so you kind of guessed at these mountains. This is complete speculation.
Well, it's I mean, the mountains are complete speculation. I guess that the Empire would be a bit more verdant than the desert, and the way to do it would be through a rain shadow. So applying some geography there.
Okay. What's this Carthia?
I love this, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Carthia is where the Plumbate come from, the darts.
Okay.
It's also tentatively where my character comes from. I don't have enough lore to say that for sure, but it sounds about right. So.
And on that, which is a pretty good segue, you role play too, right? Or you have a role playing community?
Well, yes, there is a role playing community. It's not very active at this point. We have a few people in there. So Elaine was the player who set it up, and then she, I think, got really sucked into another MMO whose name I don't know, and so she made me admin, and I haven't really been doing much with it. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I'd love to grow at some point. But yeah, I have a backstory that I'm slowly working on.
If you send me a Discord link right now, I'll throw it in chat. Maybe some people might be interested. This might be a good time to do it while we chat here.
Yes, hold on.
So this is really cool. Like, this is a lot of work that you put in and time. No wonder you're only level 200. What is your your drawing and coloring level though? Whew! Much higher than mine. There was some people who wanted to do the role playing and stuff. I saw back in the pre-launch stage of the game. It fell off. I imagine it's probably the same community that you have now.
Yeah, I think we when we were chatting, we established it was the same one.
Yeah. But I think the role playing side of things hasn't been done too much. I think that the social elements need to improve significantly before that.
Yes.
The game is a bit gamified as well, so that kind of adds to it. But I know like people used to role play in RuneScape, so it's probably not too far-fetched. Let's see. Did you guys have any questions? Promise, I'm sure you have tons. You said you just mentioned you wanted to do a lore thing, and now Hester's got all this.
So I've sent you the link. There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna press that.
Yeah, I've been deep diving into the lore pretty good recently, and I did know that the magic suppressor did come from that desert. The name I didn't have on hand, but he's also from a specific tribe in that desert, and only those people from that rare tribe have the ability to suppress magic.
Yes. So one thing I'm doing, I know you're working off some text files that you got God knows where, but one thing I'm doing is I'm actually keeping a journal of the conversations I have, and so slowly gathering that information and transcribing everything. And if you want to know the 12 or so books that the little child by the Hopeport Fountain is reading, then I can look those up for you.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to connect and talk about lore stuff because
I feel like I'm sitting in the room with just completely different game. Don't know what they're talking about. They've lost me.
I'm just sat here and I'm like, I knew the world is called Adothria. That's what I named the clan.
Me too.
And I'm like, I thought I was super cool for knowing that. Like, some people are like, wait, what is Adothria? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the world it takes place in. It's like
and then
there's this whole group of people here who are just like doing completely different things. Like,
another good place name to know is Freyland, which is the island that Hopeport, Chronopolis, and everything so far is on.
What?
It had a revolution 350 years ago where the ancient Kren civilization, which was apparently a bunch of assholes, got overthrown.
Attention when I was playing this game, but apparently I am not. I am too monkey brain see number go up for any of this.
Yep.
That is really cool. And you have people on Reddit going like, dude, where's the lore? Andrew, please add lore. Like, pay attention.
There's so much lore.
Pay attention. You heard it here first. Pay attention.
Like, how many of you knew that the Dryad had a name and was a queen?
Yeah, she's my queen.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because you're a frog, right?
I'm a guardian. Let's go.
I haven't actually met the Dryad, even though I'm fully intending to go guardian.
Do you have an alt that you or a main air quote that you played to explore the world and stuff, or?
So I have an alt to try stuff to make sure I don't lock myself or whatever. I think the last time I went on the alt was to check. It's usually to check if some room has something that that's going to dump me into a cutscene or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I used the Alt less to check out the two-headed bear and see what the deal with that is, and whether
Yeah.
I just have to fight it as soon as I enter the room.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. This is really cool. I didn't know there was so much to it. Did Prentice and V, did you have any more questions for Hester?
Not specifically. I'm just really interested in seeing where this all goes. Like, do we have anywhere we can really keep track of what you're doing?
So I drop links into the Discords, and every time, when I finished the first episode, I sort of compiled the document I've been sort of recording my progress in, and then there are the map updates. Now, when I was last playing RuneScape around the mid 2010s, I had a character who only ever got up to like rank 950,000 on the leaderboards. But in that time, I sort of had a similar project going, although more involved. I was a PhD student then. Uh, I have a job now. But back then, I do like a diary entry for every day that I played. And each day I would play for 1 hour and then write an entry. It ended up going still, barely out of the beginner quests. It ended up being 360,000 words. So this is much more soft touch.
I'm telling you, the dedication of MMO gamers, it's unrivaled.
And maybe 2 or 3 people on Tumblr ever liked it, but
Yeah, but you did, and that you
Yeah.
seem that you definitely don't seem like the person that's doing it for any clout or anything. So you're just doing it for the love of it.
Nope.
So that's
Nope.
probably the best way anyone can live.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for lessons learned. Hester, thank you for joining us. Is there anything that you wanted to sign off with or shout out?
So shout out to Elaine wherever you are in your new MMO. Shout out to Missing Pair. I hope you find your pair, or perhaps you're the missing pair, and hope the rest of the pairs find you. And to Mysticalia. So those are both people I've been running across a lot in game, and we've been chatting.
Well, hopefully I get to see you around Hopeport again. And we'll see you around. You're probably not going far.
Not for very long. Mine's in late spring, Chronopolis late summer. We'll see.
That's so cool. We'll get you back on. We'll book you in for November.
By the way, canonically, you can sort of infer from the progress of the leaves on the trees that each episode is supposed to take about a month in game, month and a half. Just a random observation. It's late summer when you do Hopeport. It's late autumn when you do Kren. There's a lot of detail going on.
There's so much detail in this world, and you might be one of the few who catch it. Thank you for letting us know.
We're all just too blind. I'm telling you.
I know. Too busy leveling up. Well, have a great rest of your evening, Hester.
Thank you.
Insane, the things we learn. Just
Pronus is there, absolutely in his element.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to get in contact with her, so we can talk about lore stuff, because I do want to make YouTube lore videos.
Might be a good server to join, her roleplay server there. I'm sure that's probably the best way to find lore. Is the RP nerds, which we love, the RP nerds, very important. They do important work. I think that's pretty good. We had some great conversations with those guests. Actually, I'm really happy to have them on. I really wanted to make this episode focused and celebrate some of the content creators and stuff that we have. Also, we're running out of top 500s, but anyway, we do have a couple little jokes here just to wrap up with. I think one of them even.
Can I interject something real quick? Speaking of, I forget what we were speaking of, but there's a 500 leatherworking party going on in the tannery right now. If anyone listening in game wants to check it out.
Oh yes, there's another
Casual Scaper is getting 500 leatherworking.
Not very casual of him,
right?
Before we switch over to the content, we had a couple of podcast Q&A from my server that wanted to ask you guys. The Code Garden asked, what was your favorite update to the game so far?
My favorite update to the game so far? Honestly, the ability to click the map to like actually walk.
Circle or square?
Just at all.
Just at all? Mm-hmm.
Like day one, we could not click the map to walk.
Yeah.
And it was the bane of my existence. Just having to constantly.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It's one negative I would have to say is it's been being rapidly fixed, so it's not so much of an issue. But like they have so much attention to detail about all these design for merchant, or like as Pronis said, the world, the lore that we just discussed. But then they miss on something like you couldn't click the map or hotkeys on launch, which I don't know if they just weren't ready or what happened with.
I think it's
certain things they miss on.
I think it's the way that the game is getting tested. Like especially at that stage, I think it was a very small group of people who were like testing the game, and they had a very distinct play style, which probably did not involve clicking the map to walk, and probably just didn't come across it. And then the second we got our hands on it, we were like, okay, I want to be able to like click the map to actually walk. And then, well, there you go. Issue, fix it, QL.
Yeah. And
the map is a pretty tough one to beat for sure. But it might have just been the Christmas event for me. Like I think like that was solid. I got all the hats on all my alts.
I only got one on the alts. I don't really.
Yeah, no, it was
one account. That's it.
It really kind of like rallied the community too. Like it was all in all probably, I think so far I'd have to say that was my favorite update.
Yeah, there was a lot of between like the line, like all the we can't trade them and stuff. There was a lot of joy when you just logged into the game, especially hung around like the street between the alchemist and I forget what it's called, but the alchemist and the chef place, the street. That's where everyone was swapping there, and it was really cool to see people in game like, I need this hat, wanted this hat, trading this hat. It was really cool. And I hope, and it really shows that once we get more of those social elements in the game, how much it's gonna spark a lot of life in it. So we just need those updates to come. Yeah, I agree with that. As for me, queue system for me was just game changing. I enjoy the game a lot more now with the queue system. I don't play super efficiently. I'm happy to maybe see how I can create and build towards making the game as efficient as possible, and then I do not play it like that. It's kind of like the journey of the investigation for me, like the discovery of that. Code Garden also asks, what is a small thing you'd love if it was added to the game? Small thing.
I would really love it if I could actually use my 500 Fisher for something. Like, I know it was brought up before that there would be like some kind of raid content where like, we would use various professions together to like defeat a boss or something like that. But I think it would be really cool if I could actually use my 500 for something, because it's clear that like level 0 to 200 is like the intended path, and then like anything beyond 200 is like specialization levels, which you're not really supposed to go for and everything. But if you really like a profession, like clicking pixelfish, then you can actually like go pursue that. But I wish I could actually use it for something, because I can't gain XP. It's not good money right now. And I could go catch fish for like chef, but I can just buy them as well. So I'd like something
for KP.
Fishing is not, ironically, I mentioned this in the video. I had go live like 4 hours ago. merchant is the way to go for KP, not Fisher, sadly.
Merchant farther.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, by the way, that's how the top ranks are padding their total level. They're just training merchant and then dumping all their KP in slow professions. So like bone wright, stonemason, blacksmith. That's where the KPs are going, and they're just doing merchant the entire time. You can see all the top 20 players. You can see them all running around in Chronopolis just constantly.
Yep.
That's what they're doing. Exposed.
Can't hide from that.
Can't hide from. Look, I leveled my detective level. Okay? I mean, arguably, my cat has the highest detective level of us all. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I do have that on coming up.
Yeah, my cat is already 501 detective. Okay, so don't give me any of that. Yeah. I know what's going on.
Promise, small update, small thing.
Yeah, small thing that I think I'd really like is having like the inventory stuff separate from the movement in game. So if I do things in my inventory, it doesn't stop me from walking around.
Yeah, it feels a little stiff at times with that, especially with the new queue system as well, relevant. But things can feel a little bit stiff when you get knocked out of something like that. So yeah, that would be nice to get fixed.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to rearrange my spells in the spell book. That'd be kind of cool.
Yes, 100% yes. Fen, get on it right now, please. I need this so bad. My OCD, I don't have OCD, but I have OCD from this. It's just, yeah.
Oh, you know what you mean. I know. I'm sure many of us are like that. We're number gamers, so.
It's bad. Another thing would be putting your XP potions on your tool belt. I know this has been mentioned like a cajillion times, but please, we need it.
I think it's coming.
TM.
I think it's coming. I think like we keep saying next week, but next week?
Yeah.
Thursday,
next
surely.
Week TM. Winter 2017.
Silk Song, what? Wondersmith asks, praise the circle?
What's that?
The praise the circle. Do you praise the circle?
Praise this. I'm about to get flamed for this. Praise the circle?
The map, on the map. The
yeah, happy Circle Day.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a really good update, but I think it also ruined a little bit of QOL as well. I don't know if anybody else has ran into this, but the previous system where you can actually move 2 rooms, like for example, when you're going into the carpentry workshop, like the village in front of it, you actually cannot.
Yeah, very specific scenarios.
You can no longer go like 2 rooms at a time there, whereas you could before. And it's a little bit of a gripe. I'm like, we were so close to the perfect system.
I think that the sacrifice of the few is better for the many. I think carpenters have to suffer, and leatherworker has to suffer for everyone else to succeed.
I think overall it is an improvement, but there are areas and situations where it is worse.
Yeah, I think that it's a much more balanced solution because some of Chronopolis and some of the mines is so frustrating. Wondersmith also asks, do you play actively or AFK, semi-AFK, mostly? Or does it kind of depend?
Actively for me. Like, I completely dislike AFK. Like, I use my passives whenever I go sleep, or whenever I'm not actually playing.
So you don't really queue then? Do you queue? Or
yes and no.
Depends on you wouldn't queue Fisher, right? Because of the inefficiency behind it, but you'd queue.
I did at the end. Okay. I did at the end. But like the way I usually do it, right, is I have my queuing set to left click so that like whenever I actually click anything, it's automatically going to start queuing.
Yep.
And then I have an alternate keybind for like not queuing.
Yep.
So I play with queuing most of the time, but then whenever I notice that I'm just like completely locked in, just doing something like mindless monkey brain gamer, that's when I just forego the queuing system altogether because I can do it better myself.
Yep. Which is, I think, a great lever for people to pull on their efficiency and stuff. So it's a good change.
Definitely, because the queuing system is great, but you are more efficient if you don't use it. Ironically.
Yeah. So was it more active or passive kind of gameplay?
Yeah.
It really kind of depends on my mood, to be honest. Like the active passive thing it's really a sliding scale, right? Like some things are more active than others. For example, merchant compared to say leatherworking, right? Usually when I'm streaming, I try to find something kind of in that middle ground that lets me interact with chat without losing too much experience, but also not being bored out of my mind. But sometimes it's nice to just sort of relax and do leatherworking like I am now, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So it really depends on how I'm feeling. I'm not really set one way or the other.
It's good that you can fluctuate as well.
Mm.
So those questions came from my Discord. Just that I have a podcast Q&A section that people can post questions on. But we will get to the last segment here where we kind of bring up some lighthearted stuff from the Reddit. I believe your cat is in here too. Yes, it is. Well, you know what? We'll start with that. So because you just mentioned it. So,
oh my god,
tell us
my
about
beloved
Spooky.
Yeah, I have 4 cats, or I should say we have 4 cats. And I'm the stepmom to 2 of them, and I'm the actual mom to 2 of them, Uki and Spooky, which are our 2 black cats.
I love that.
They just love doing this. Like, so basically me and my girlfriend are sat back to back, right? So we'll each have 1 cat, and they're just constantly watching our screens. Like they'll sleep next to the screen, they'll get up, and they'll just start watching. That's just what they do.
Their eyes are gonna go square, dude. Look how close she is.
Yeah, but it's just like it's insane because whenever we're like on the couch watching a show, specifically Spooky, she'll go sit on the sound bar right in front of the TV, and she'll do the same thing with the TV. I put this video up on the TV and made her watch, she kind of did it herself automatically. She watched herself spotting thieves in Chronopolis, and it was the greatest thing she's ever done because the amount of purring that came out of that cat, I'm telling you, it's cursed, but it's blessed at the same time. We don't deserve cats. We don't.
This is so much personality in this cat. Really, really looking at the thieves, actually. Like genuinely, wholeheartedly looking at all of the different things.
I'm telling you, she's detective level 501. 501 detective. She's spotting every single one.
I love that.
Yeah.
We have some gags here. Memes. One more level, just one more.
No comment.
Everyone who's like, oh yeah, I work from home. I play Briar Shores. I work from home.
I work from home, guys. Don't worry about it. I have time to play. I work from home. Meanwhile.
Yeah, they're on a Teams call.
Yeah.
Hey, have you done the report? Hello? Tell. What? Huh? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'm probably going to be fine for mentioning this on here, but guilty as charged. So awkward. It's just the amount of fish I caught on meetings.
Oh, no. I like this one. Yeah. So Captain Shirker's PTSD compelling him to man his docked ship 24/7 in the middle of a storm while Robin scoffs down his 57th soggy omelet of the day. I don't know who came up with this, but it's just I think that must have added the hat. It looks like it's just it's so good.
Oh, I saw you add that sneaky upvote right there.
Yeah. That's right. I gotta do it. Wait, actually, hold on. My bad.
No.
My bad. This one's from Cabbage Man. How did I get out of here?
This reminded me so much of that RuneScape Classic post where it's like super similar from like 2002, I think it was.
It's probably
where someone also got stuck out of the map.
Knowing him.
It's so similar, like.
Like, is that an actual bug? Like, what happened there?
I don't know.
Weird.
I think what happened here, because I think I've seen this. if you start lagging / you losing connection while you are leaving like a room, client side, you can still walk, but your camera will get stuck and rooms you leave / enter will not actually load. So I think that might be it.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think you could recreate this by just unplugging your router while you're like walking, and you would probably have a 5-second window to be able to recreate the screenshot. But that's like if you're trying to recreate this.
Yeah, this one, I was looking for stuff to show. This one's a bit old, but I still think it's hilarious. Dropped out of college to do this. I think it was relevant because we had Strafe on as well.
Yep.
I have a 500. I can't say anything.
Is this passive? I don't even know.
Yeah, that's passive.
What's he making?
I think this is the second one.
Okay.
You make several sculptures while you're doing the passive. I think the first one is a snake, and the second one is I forgot.
Second one is urn.
This might be the urn one.
Okay, whatever you say. This was just posted too. This is very evocative of the post Obelisk quest experience when you finished Obelisk and get your ass beat by death crows.
I think we all got jump scared when they suddenly like leveled up. Like day one when we did not know that like monsters would like scale up.
We're
just like happily like we're killing our level 2 or level 4, whatever they are, death crows, and then like we suddenly come out and boom, now we're level 18.
I know, and it's like you don't. It still happens. Like thankfully, I think this is actually a problem that will get resolved with the combat update. But this is really funny when this happens, and we do get questions about it. It's like, yeah, you got to click on them in past action, but this is I think many of us did this. Happened to me live on the podcast once when I was doing combat, and then I leveled up to the point where it changed the thief level, and I ended up dead, and I wasn't paying attention. So I was like, why? I ran back, fought them again, died. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
That's the monkey brain effect right there. You're just fried.
Yeah. That is this episode.
Oh.
Yeah, that's gonna be the end of it.
So sad.
Thank you very much for coming on, V and Piranhas. I hope you had a good time. Last chance to shout out your own stuff. Please feel free to.
Want to go first, or?
You can go first.
All right. Well, if you are looking for a fun clan to be a part of, we currently have over 120 members in the Blades of Adothria.
Super active chat.
If you want to join, discord.gg/Adothria. I don't have the chat open because the last time I clicked anything, my camera immediately died, remember? So I'm not touching anything. But discord.gg/Adothria, we have a custom link for that server. So if you are looking for a clan, go there.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my YouTube channel, like that's just youtube.com/@itsvalerie_x.
That's in the description as well. Yep.
Yes, there we go. Yeah. Let me know what you think of my content. I only started like 11 days ago. I had a video go up like 2 hours before this this podcast. So
yeah,
let me know what you think.
Blowing my guides out the water. So thanks for that.
Mine's like 1920s. They can't blow anything out of the water. It's ancient. Ancient from the moment of upload.
Piranhas?
Yeah. So it was definitely a pleasure being on. I loved every minute of it. I am usually streaming over on Twitch. My username there is Pronus Games. I am also trying to do YouTube stuff. Pretty sure that's also Pronus Games.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, I'm just reading the patch notes and news posts out loud and uploading that. So if it's TLDR, you can listen to me read it. Also, I gotta shout out the Wiki and the Wiki team. I forgot to mention it at the beginning of introductions, but I do a Wiki editing stream every Thursday morning.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. And I gotta shout out Al Sang. They are super skilled with Wiki stuff. people keep saying I'm good at the wiki, but this guy kind of like puts me to shame. If I have questions about the wiki, I go to him or them, I guess I should say. But
yeah, the wiki's got
yeah,
pretty big group of dedicated people to it.
Yeah. Also, just shout out to my chat on Twitch, like with all the awesome contributions with lore and just kind of figuring out how to play the game. Always a blast, and we talk about the most random stuff.
Yeah, great. Please do make lore videos. I think that will, like, what we've found today. I didn't know any of it, and you're just gonna be a news source for me. So do the work so I don't have to.
It's a lot of work, but I'm down for it.
Yeah. Do the work, please and thank you.
Please and thank you. Thank you all very much for watching. I do love you all, and thank you so much for the support. You keep the podcast going and making sure that we go ahead with no technical difficulties or someone talking over the sponsor segment. I love you all. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. And just remember, if your name's on the screen, I just love you a little bit more. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye.